should have seen us going, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Cortez!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Oh, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, good evening. Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again. Tonight is the half-term player ratings, which is obviously ended because of the World Cup. And I've got Roy with me. Good evening to you, Roy.
How you doing, mate? How you doing, everyone? Hopefully it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, let's hope it is there, man. Let's hope it is in the case, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a cracking show and a neat like. And I just thought of this one as well. Now the football's over and because of the World Cup, and then it'll come back again. So if anyone wants to know where Tony is, Tony will be here very, very soon. Hopefully I sent the link, and yeah, he should be here soon. We've got internet problems. I don't know, so we'll be here soon. So guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Also, give it if you'd like to become a member, then click on the $sign. I'm sorry, the join button. If you like to super chat, click on the $sign. And if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. Just click on the link inside the chat. So if I just go through the chat as well, big up to Tom Lynch as well. Enjoy the match. I was at the match, mate. So I was at the match and didn't get a chance to watch it, but hopefully we'll be very, very soon. Big up to Alan Little. Evening to Stu. Big up my guy. Even to Mr. Stapleton there. Evening to John the Kid of Qatar. He certainly is. And John, did you enjoy Love Fell? Absolutely loved it, mate. Absolutely loved it. You cut to no cut. Okay, Annie.
Just bring him on.
I know. I tell you what, though, I think Paul might pinch one of mine soon. You never know. He was calling me Sinclair for some reason, Ed. You know what I mean? We got to Paul. I love Paul, by the way. I saw him Saturday. Loving the bits, by the way.
I watched this. I watched this video 3 or 4 times after the match, post-match video. Oh, it's brilliant, man.
I tell you what, if you ever check out the Toon Reviews channel, if you're new, check him out. He's, for me, in my opinion, I think he's the best Northeast channel ever. And big up to Paul, by the way. I want Macy's Grand Thanksgiving Day Parade cancelled due to my demands of Old Lang Synd on today's show. CB Mornings and Good Morning America. Yeah, Pauline, yeah, I'll support you. I'll support you, mate. Let's hope so. I guess your wish. Big up to Mason. Big up to Gemma. Big up to Ian as well. Also, is watching. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Just waiting for Todd to come on the show. And yeah, so we're gonna go through the players. Marks out of 10. This half term because having a break. So we're gonna go through the player ratings as well on the season so far. And if Tony was here, he'll love bottom and the bits. I love the bits as well. So we're gonna give it a rating out of 10. You can join the fun as well, and it should be a cracker. So got one here from Hi John Roy. This is the new Toon Review channel. Nah, I gotta respect Paul, by the way. I love Paul bits. Paul knows somebody missing. Big up to Mansell as well, the King Qatar. Hope you go well, lads. Perfect, man. Right, let's go straight on to the goalkeepers. We're going to start with Nick Pope. He's having an outstanding season for us as well. 10 million quid, makes saves, and his distribution is fantastic. How many marks out of 10 would you give him, Roy?
I'll get 100% 10. I wouldn't be giving any less than that. He's got the most clean sheets in the league. I know in a few games he didn't have much to do. He did a good save against Chelsea when our defenders were, I don't know, no idea what they're doing there, but he was there when we needed him. Commands the box. He's a keeper sweeper at the same time. Best league. England's number 1. hope Southgate's listening. England's number one. But if he doesn't pick him, then Iran's going to punish him. So, which is good. So, yeah, Pope for me, 10. Definitely.
10 out of 10. Well, big up for Nick Pope. In 10s, I just had to say big up. I got one here from Sean. Yeah, I read that. How did I under 21 get his pistol today? I have no idea. Ian, I was driving back from Newcastle. I had no idea. But I'm sure people in the chat will find out. I think he got beat today. I could be wrong. John, all you need now is Paul on from Toon View. If he wants to come on, he's welcome to you now.
Go on, Paul. Go on.
If he sends a DM, I send the link, and I'll send that link. If they come on, they can join the phone as well for the halftime player reports as well. Good evening to Unai Emery. They put a 10 and put 10 out of 10 from Alan as well. For me, I mean, he's been outstanding this season. Would I give him a 10? I'll probably give him a 9. I think he's been outstanding for me this season. I think he's been fantastic. And I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for me. Tell the mayor in New York that Pauline Man's mercy thank you today cancelled due to my plans. Yeah, we understand that, Pauline. Thank you, man. It's a football show, by the way, no disrespect. Let's go on to defenders. Let's start with our captain, Kieran Trippier. I mean, he has been outstanding again this season. It's the leadership at the back. I think the guy is so cool. And he doesn't get flustered. His tackling's absolutely magnificent, Roy. How many marks out of 10 would you give him?
Well, I've got 4 players. I've made a little list. I've got 4 players who will get 10, and he's the second one. So he'll get 10 as well. He's up and down, assist, he's leading. If you watch the subs and the Chelsea game, he's up on there talking to the new guys coming on. He's cheering the guys getting off the pitch. He's the leader, best captain we've had since Alan Shearer, definitely. If it wasn't for him, we'll be nowhere near where we are now. Set pieces, corners. How many assists has he had? Like 5 or 4 or 5 so far. Absolute legend already. 10.
10 out of 10 for Kieran Trippier. You know what? I'm going to give him the same. I'm going to give him a 10 as well. I think it's been really, really fantastic. I mean, he's been getting 8s and 9s every single week. I mean, what you get is what you see is what you get from Kieran. I mean, he's a leader, a captain, you know, and he tells players where to be. He makes you defend properly. He tells you where to be. You know what it is with Kieran Trippier? For 12.5 million quid, I find it's an absolute bargain of the season for me. And you don't have to spend millions upon millions to get a player in as well. I mean, Andy Robson costs 8 million quid. Pound per pound, that is fantastic. This guy is brilliant. Absolutely a world-class right back. And there's not many of them at all whatsoever. And we've got Mansell's giving Pope a 10. We got before nil. Trippier got a 10 out of coffee. Allen gives him a 10. Mansell's a 10. Trip has to be a perfect 10. Kieran Trippier over the wall. Yep, it sure is indeed. So I'll give him a 10 as well. What about Javier McCready? I know he's had a couple of games, right? But you have to rate him, judge on the games he has played. I know. Is he worth giving a marking? What do you think?
Who's that, John Joe?
No, Javier McCready.
He's played for a couple of games. He's played the cup game as well. Don't have much to do. I'll give him a 7. We haven't seen enough of him. Give him a 7. When he played, we haven't lost when he was on. So give him a 7. I don't think he was that good in the cup game. I haven't seen it, but everyone who was at St. James's that game said it wasn't great. I mean, when Trippier came on, the whole game changed. So 7 is fair.
Me personally, me personally, I mean, because I'll probably give him. Look, he didn't do much for me. I'll give him a 5 for me. He didn't do much for me as well. I mean, 5 is good for me. And yes, he's not playing much games, so I can't really judge what he do, if you know what I mean. But I think he was at the fault for the Southampton goal as well. He could have done better, but hey ho. But I'll give him a 5 out of 10 for me. Emil Kraft, he's out injured, so you can't really rate him, no, Roy. Can't really rate him, can we? So.
No.
Let's go on to the other side. Jamal Lewis, we're going to have to forget about him because he hardly played. We've got to rate Matt Target's. Marks out of 10 for Matt Target.
The fact that he lost his spot to Burn tells you something. So again, he played the cup game, wasn't great. He was okay in the second half against Chelsea when he came on. Because he lost his spot, I'd have to give him a 6. He's actual natural left back, and he lost it to Byrne, who's a centre back. So I'll give him a 6. He was great last season, but I don't know what's happened. Maybe he's lost a bit of form, or Dan Byrne is so good now that he lost his spot to someone who's really much better than him. So I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. 6 out of 10. What he's done, really, last season, I think he's been brilliant. He's got an 8 out of 10 this season. I mean, I'll give him a 6, and he's not as been as great as he was last season, and this is the reason why that he's been dropped for Dan Byrne. And Eddie must have seen him in training what he's done wrong. But for me, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I mean, look, he's not a poor player. I think he's a decent player, but he has not played a lot of games as well. So I'm giving him 6. Let's move on to Alan's giving him a kilo 6. Emil Kraft, I can't really judge him. He's giving him 6 for a kilo 5. Excuse me. Target 7 out of 10. And we got Mansell, a target a sad 6. Wow. Sad 6. I'd go on to Peeps all right for Jules. Jules and whose people. I hope we'll find Jules, and hope your partners are out as well too. And let's go on to someone just can't mention him. We have to mention Dan Byrne. I mean, for me, he's come in and he's done a decent job at left back. Not my left back, but he's come in and he's just does the job. I mean, going forward, I've noticed going forward a lot, but the final third, not great, but defending, I can't focus defending, man. I mean, the mark set at 10 to give that.
I mean, if he was as good in the final third as he was at the back, I'll give him a 10. But can we do halves or not? I'll probably give him an 8.5, but I'll give him a 9 because he managed to get a target out of the way, and he's cemented his spot now. He's a left back. Sometimes you look at the team and he hasn't got the pace and he's got the skill when he's gone up front. And every time the ball goes to him, and sometimes you see him running through the channel, and you'll see Joe Linton or Willock with the ball, and they don't pass the ball to him when he's gone free on the wing. So he doesn't look right where he is, but it's working, and he's solid at the back. And he should have been called for the England squad as well, but he hasn't. So I'll give him a 9. Definitely 9.
9 out of 10. Okay, so Roy gives him a 9. I'm going to give him... You know what? I'm going to give him a 9 as well, because I think it's been absolutely brilliant at the back. I mean, I could have given an 8, but going forward, he's improved a little bit. But final third, it's not that great. But one thing I'm going to say, I think he's been decent first. He's done a job. And like I said, I prefer him in the centre defence. But left back, he's done well. He's adapted well. He's played that before, by the way, for Fulham, if my memory serves us correctly. So he ain't bad. And got one from Anna Coffey. He's going to be generous. I can see it. 10 out of 10 from Dan, 9 from Alan, Big Dan Byrne, 9. Jules, absolutely fine. Just got back from Newcastle and had a lovely weekend with me new lass. And Roy knows she is, by the way, because you live in the same area. Big up to Gary D. And click in, subscribe his feed. Thank you so much, Jules. One of me mods as well. For me, I'll give Dan Byrne a 9 as well. Let's go on to centre defence. We are going to start with the one and only Sven Botman.
Best centre-back in the league by a mile. Someone said today that it reminds me of Vidic. I think he's even better than Vidic was, but 22. 10. Rock, what a machine. He's going to be here for the next 10 years. Future club captain. And I'm gutted he wasn't picked for Holland, but he's still young. They've got a good set of players there in the back. But he'll be playing the next Euro, and he'll be in the next 2 or 3 World Cups as well. 10 out of 10. Probably our best buy, probably, since the takeover. Even, I don't know, we got Bruno and Trippier, but you're looking 10 years ahead here. What a rock. Love him to bits. 10, 100%. He's my third 10 out of 4.
We got Sven Botman, by the way. I'm giving him a 10 as well. And let me tell you something, right? I mean, he cost 35 million quid. Virgil van Dijk cost 75 mil, right? Ben Shite. Well, he's not Ben Shite now. He's getting better. Ben White, 50 million quid. It just goes to show, if you buy a player from abroad, you're going to get a bargain. Right? Sven Botman has come in, right? I didn't expect to do in his first season because of the pace and the power of the Premier League. This guy is Premier League ready. Do you know what I mean? He defends, he put his heart on the line, he puts his body on the line, and he reads the game like a book. He's not the quickest, but I tell you something, right? When he's in it, he'll let you know straight away. This guy is going to be one of the best defenders in world football. I'm telling you that. And Newcastle have got an absolute bargain. Thank God he didn't go to AC Milan, because I think they would have won the Scudetto again as well next season. This season coming up, but if Toon's in the chat now, he'd give him a 10. He will lavish over this guy. I'm telling you that for now. 10 out of 10. And what it is, well, we've got one from Vim Bowen. Please hit the subscribe button, Vim, if you can, mate. Thank you so much indeed. 9.5 out of 10. Greetings from Holland. Make it a 10, Vim. Make it a 10, mate. And then you've got one from Kevin B. Kevin, please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much indeed. Tony will get on soon. He's just sent us a message. Thank you so much, T. Chibbears 10 can't be anything else. A born leader of men, Burn 9, bottom 10. Let's go on to Fabian. Share. Kevin's giving him a 10. How many would you give him?
No, I'll give him a 9. He does those little odd mistakes here and there, sometimes the late tackles, but he's tidy. It's 100 times better than he was under Bruce when he actually managed to get games under Bruce. He's picked up. He's back in the Swiss squad. 9, easy. I can't just give the whole team 10s, otherwise I'll give everybody a 10. I've got a surprise 10. Well, it's an honorary 10. He shouldn't get a 10, but I'll give him a 10 for something he's done against Chelsea. But yeah, for Fabian Schär, 9.
Yeah, I'll go 9 as well for Fabian Schär. That guy's playing his best football of his career. He's defending properly, playing alongside Sven Botman, learning from him. And I tell you something, those two at the back as a rock. You got a Botman 6'5", you got a Schär 6'2". None can pass them. Chelsea found out to their cost. Apart from that Gallagher shot, which Nick Pope made a wonderful save, saving it from going on the top corner. Absolutely fantastic. And you know what it is? So I'll talk about it later on, by the way. And I'll tell you something. I think Switzerland will be absolutely loving the way Fabian's done this season. So let's go on to Alan Botman for 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100, whatever you want to call it. Mansell Botman a 10. Paul Hodgson saying Botman plus how coaching is the secret. We've got one for I Like Coffee a 10. And to Fabian a 10. And Sean, the new Frank Beckenbauer. I wouldn't go that far, mate. I wouldn't go that far. And Beckenbauer's one of the best defenders of all time. And Shah at 10, him and Botman are outstanding, absolutely right. And let's go on to another defender. He kind of getting the team, Jamal Lascelles.
Our ex-captain.
Yeah.
I would have given him a 10 against the Chelsea game, just for what he did at the end there. When he was what a legend. Absolutely. I love stuff like this. And yeah, he dropped the momentum. The guy was trying to take a throw in. I can't remember who it was. And then took the ball off him. Absolute legend. He didn't get enough games because the guys are 9s and 10s. He played against Chelsea. He played the game against Liverpool. Wasn't at fault for any of the goals. It was a solid performance by him. And I thought he might get a game afterwards, but it's not his fault. He's on the bench. We used to muck him up last season. He's done some horrendous mistakes under Bruce. He looks better than he was before. He played the cup game. He was solid in defending, but his distribution was awful. So I would have given him a 6, but because of what he did against Chelsea, I'll give him a 7.
Wow, I'll give him a 5 because take away that, I mean, he hasn't done much for us at all whatsoever, but I'll give him a 5. And just judge on the game he has played on the pitch, so he's a 5. So there's something you can do about that as well. I Like Coffee, generous 6 he gives him, 5 little sales as well from Alan. And sales a 5, it has to move on from me. He needs to be away in January. I mean, the guy, I want to see him play, which I'm going to announce in a week. I want to do the transfer, sure, right? Which I think we could get him in the summer. I think that player wants to come to the Premier League. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm not saying he's going to come, but I just say we should get him. So we've done the defensive side, I think. We've done all the defensive. And we got one from Lascelles. It's better than Chelsea's Koulibaly. I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. I mean, what do you think of Koulibaly, by the way? I mean, I think he's brilliant for Napoli. I mean, a lot of people don't know a lot. I watched him for 7 years. And so, brilliant. Chelsea, not so great.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually Rafa who brought him to Napoli. For years, I was pushing, we needed somebody like him. But we ended up with defenders who are better than him. I can't blame him. There's something wrong with Chelsea. The whole team is upside down. I don't know, it's rotten. They haven't got a good manager, good management. They spent 280 or 70 million in the summer on top of that what they had, and they look worse than what they did last season. It's just a disaster. He might improve or look good if he leaves and goes to another club. You've no idea. It's just, but you've seen what Almiron did to him. He could have got sent off as well, and the yellow card he got. Almiron was gone there. So,
absolutely.
I wouldn't have him now.
I probably wouldn't have him now. I mean, I'll go for a younger player. I mean, Koulibaly is 31. I mean, if Tony comes on, I'll mention his name. He does not like him at all whatsoever. He thinks it's another Sean Allen Boom song and also another Titus Bramwell. But I'm sorry, but I still think he's a quality defender. But
I've seen him years ago. He was great, but I think it's
wow.
maybe he's struggling probably with the Premier League and the pace as well. So you don't know.
Fair enough. And we've got Jason as well. Eden gang, how are we doing? Jason's absolutely fine, mate. I hope you are too. And he said, Jason, recovering the Prem has been dreadful. Yeah, okay. I get a lot of stick here, by the way, Koulibaly.
He might look good in the back three. He might. If Chelsea change the way they play and they go with a back three centre backs, he might. It's a bit like Maguire with Manchester. Man U. So back three with Maguire works all the time. We put him with another centre back and he's gone. So I think Koulibaly might be the same.
No. I mean, Chelsea got fleeced by Napoli for 34 million quid. Wow. There you go. So, I mean, it's what it is. I mean, don't ask Macy, by the way, if she thinks of Koulibaly. And we've got a couple comments as well. We're going through the mid. Lascelles is found at the minute as a fourth choice centre back. No real hurry to move him on until someone considering better is available. I can think one or two is better than him. We can get in the summer, by the way. I mean, Bashili is the one from Monaco. That guy is brilliant. Why I like mine? That's from Ryan. Big up to Ryan, by the way. Loving Ryan, by the way. I've got to get him on the show, so I've got to get him back on soon. Miggy makes the other teams defenders look like Titus Bramwell, so can't blame Koulibaly. And big up to Toon, hope you're okay. Sefton's on the hoose, and he's late. From the full squad on opposition, now from last season. Big up to Sefton, by the way. I hope his wifey is okay. And she is a big Liverpool fan. Let's go on to the midfield. Let's go into the central mids first. We are going to start with Joe Willock. I think he's just getting better and better the last few games. How many marks I tell me to give him?
I'll give him an 8. If it wasn't until about 3 weeks ago, then I would probably give him a 7 or 6. He's improved a lot now. A couple of goals already. He looks great on the left and linking in with Joe Linton. So on the right, you've got the Miggy thing with Trippier and Longstaff. And on the left, you've got him and Joe Linton doing all the work. So he's improved. I'll give him an 8. I think he'll get better with Eddie Howe. But I fear for him if we do end up buying a number 10, it's probably him who's going to have to move out of the way. But we'll keep him. He's great though so far. Yeah, 8 is good.
Brilliant. For me, I'm gonna give him an 8. So I know Anne's giving him a 9, and because give him an 8, very close to 10. We add more goals to his game. Then we've got Willock gives an 8, so he's getting better every game. That's a man's little scenes. If Willock wins the game for us at the Emirates, I tell you something, Ryan. If he does that sort of thing, I don't think he'll celebrate. I really don't think he will. because he's a gooner. But for me personally, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 as well, because look, he's not getting enough goals before that. The last few games have been insane. I think it's been really fantastic. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. But if he counts on the way he is, then at the end of the season, then they get 9s or 10s as well from me. So Joe Willock is 8 out of 10. We're going to go on to Sean Longstaff. I mean, look, he covers himself every grass. Okay, he's a bit slow. Sometimes, he gives the ball away cheaply and, not making a tackle, etc. But when he does, I think he's an excellent player. But the chance against Southampton, he missed that sitter as well. I'm going to give him a 7. That's because he's improved a lot, right, Roy?
Yeah. I'll give him a 7 as well. If we did this a couple of weeks ago, I would have given him a 5. Yeah. But he's improved a lot. Okay, he's lost the ball a couple of times. He looks like he's grown in confidence. He does keep the ball now with him, because he used to just get the ball and pass it sideways or to the back, and now he does keep the ball. He does look better than he did. And he's been a bit creative, and he's done a few long balls. I can't remember which game it was, and I think it was against Spurs when he saw the keeper out and he lobbed him from halfway line. So he's improving. He's not going to get any better than this. We know what his capabilities are, and what he gives 100% every game. So I'll give him a 7. It's a good 7 though. It's not a bad 7.
Yeah. The thing is, right, as well, I mean, is Sean Longstaff going to win us a title? Is he going to win us, get us in the top 4 with amazing performances? I don't think he will, personally, but we do need another midfielder. If James Maddison come in, or if someone's world-class going to come in the midfield, then for me personally, I think he's the one's going to be sacrificed as well. You're saying Willock, I'm saying Longstaff. For me, you got to keep him in the team, Joe Willock, because I think he's a better player than Sean Longstaff, in my opinion. So just got some more comments as well. I've got Alan as well. Liverpool's lost an investor. Great. That's great news for us. Longstaff's an 8, but he's getting better too. Yep, he is indeed. Longstaff, 8 from Alan. That deluded Liverpool fan has been at it again. A TikTok saying Liverpool can still win the league. That's not going to happen anytime soon, will it? Surely not. And 8 from I Like Coffee.
They'll probably have to win every single game to the end of the season to win the title. And they probably won't.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally agree. We're not going to get Shelvin a rating because, well, yeah, a couple of games for me. I'll give him a 5 out of 10 for me, because he hasn't really done much. Mate, what do you think? 5 out of 10?
No, yeah, 5. I'll give him 5 as well. Yeah, he hasn't done much. Hopefully, this break is going to be good for him, because he'll be back in the squad again and training with them for about a month or 5 weeks, and then we'll see what happens after the World Cup. He might be in, but if Longstaff is keeping him out of the team, then let's tell you what's happening here. So, I mean, he's been back for about a month now from his injury. So, and he's still not back in the team. He got his chance in the cup game, nothing. So, yeah, 5 for Shelby, unfortunately.
Yeah, 5 is good. 5 is good for Shelby at a minute, so give him 5 out of 10. Let's go on, and before we go on to Bruno, hey guys, good to see the legend Roy on today, and John the Red.
Thank you.
John the Red. Wow. But he does like Casemiro, by the way. I'll give him that. If you get mad in Jan, who would you drop, Willock or Longstaff for me? I'll drop Longstaff for me. No disrespect for Sean, and that's not disrespectful of him, but I think Jordan's been playing better football. Do you know what I mean? He makes things happen. So it's going to be Willock to over Longstaff. Let's go on to the next one. Bruno Gamache. What can I say about this guy? I mean, I know what's coming, but for me, how many marks would you give him?
I'll give him a 9. I wasn't happy with him in the few times in the last couple of games, but his passing was a bit off. I think he's got half his mind probably on thinking about the World Cup. The first 10 games, he was super. He's lost it a bit, but still scored a few goals, and he's up there. I'm not going to give him a 10 because I can't just give the whole squad 10. So I picked 4 players to get 10s. So you'll get a 9.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. I could give him a 9 as well. I mean, look, the game against Chelsea wasn't the greatest. I'm going to be honest with you. He didn't play that great on Saturday, but like you said, it's just because the Brazil as well. And that's the pause he's played. But other games he's been brilliant. I mean, when he doesn't play, we don't win games. And that penalty missed as well. I have to mark him down for it as well, unfortunately. That's a part of the game. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I'll go with Fox in that as well. So 9 out of 10 for Bruno. But this guy is world class. And I hope he signs a new deal. If he does that, then we've got to build a team around this guy. I'll tell you something, right? Keep coming where we are. We'll be fighting for the title, by the way. Definitely be fighting for the title. So 9 out of 10. Everyone's saying 10s here, but we're just going to the Shelby 6, 5. Is Roy going to the World Cup games? I think he's going to. He's going on, you Roy? You got to go to a couple.
Yeah, I've got 12 tickets. So I'm going to go Iran, England, Iran as well. I've got Iran's 3 group games. I've got a few random ones like Portugal, Uruguay, and Mexico, Poland. And I've got 2 in the second round and 2 in the quarterfinals as well. I've got no idea who they are. Yeah, some random games. I'll go into the opening match as well.
Good man, good man. How much are tickets anyway, Roy? Don't mind me asking. How much are tickets?
The Iran ones were category A, so they were 800. So that's £200 for the category A, and they go as cheap as 10 quid. The
That's
cheapest are 10 quid. Yeah, 10 quid once, and with limited number, and they go all the way up to the most expensive are £200. But then you've got the box and the hospitality bits. Not going
brilliant. Okay, cool. So our Toon's Group the top price, tenner for cheapest, 10 quid. Wow, for World Cup. That's a bargain, man. It really is. It wouldn't happen in the UK, by the way. Yeah, everyone's saying, Jason says, it's Alec Coffee 10s, Alan 10s, Graham 10. I probably wouldn't rate Shelby as he's been injured most this season. Bruno's a 9. Bruno's apparently still cracks us up. Wow. Hilarious that. Bruno's a 9. I've got 4 kids. Things more likely he's not that Roonborn as he drops in form. Seems to be since Matt Deal. 4 guys was probably dead on his feet. That's been nice. Talking about Bruno there. Big up to David Doyle, by the way. Hope you're okay, mate. Hope you're staying strong, mate. Let's have a good one. Jules Trent Coffee. Bruno 9, Matteo -1. Good luck to Emmanuel World Cup. Have to make out of the group stage of us. Roy's a 10 every week. That's
Thank you, Granny.
Yeah, can you please hit the subscribe button, please? I'm in the Granny. If you can, that'd be amazing. Thank you so much indeed. If you do that, that'd be brilliant. Thank you so much indeed. And watch out for Ecuador dark horses in the World Cup. That's right. I think Ecuador's got a canny team there, sort of thing. They're quick as well.
Qatar plays them in opening, and all the Qatari fans think they're going to beat them. But I think he deluded a bit. But you never know, because I think the loser of that game is out, because none of them's going to beat Holland. No. And then you got Senegal in the group as well. So the loser of that game, which is the opening game, can just pack their bags and enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Fair enough. So we'll see what happens. That could be a 1-game shootout as well. Going to Stu, speaking to Ryan, and I like Coffee speaking to Ryan as well. Let's go on to some midfield. Let's go with Elliot Anderson.
Ooh, 6. We remember we were screaming a few months ago. We need him back on, and he's better than Murphy, he's better than Fraser, and he had a chance in the cup. Couple of games, in a few games he came on, not much. I think I'll probably send him on loan in January. If we get Madison, let's say, I'll send him out on loan in January to a championship club. No, not League One or somewhere else. Championship club, guaranteed to get some games and then regroup in the summer. Hopefully he improves. Yeah, 6.
You know what? 6. I'll go 6 as well, and that's no disrespect for Elliot, but at the end of the day, he has to impact the game. I mean, everyone's saying, get him on. Yeah, she comes on, has to impact the game. The only one thing he did when he invaded the Palace tackle, by the way, try to wipe him out. And I'm not being funny, but wipe him out. And, look, I like his energy. I like what he does, but he needs to be scoring and create more as well. So for me, he's just going to be a 6, I'm afraid. So, look, he'll get better. He's only 19, 20 years old. And, his career is definitely not over just yet for me. So I hope he makes it in Newcastle United, but I think he'll be out on loan anyway, and I hope that is the case. Bottom of the group, that's from Ryan. 5 for Anna Coffee. 7 for Anderson, needs more game time. That's from Alan. Lukaku's going to destroy our defence. He's having a good season, Inter, by the way. And Jordan Maradona. And let's have a look on. The Canadians might do well if it snows. That's from Chris. And Anson, the 5. Haven't seen enough of him. He needs to go out on loan and get some game time. That's exactly what we've been saying, man. So, yeah, let's see what happens on that one. So, 5 out of 10 for Elliot. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then give it a like, subscribe, and if you'd like to become a member, then it's 99p. Super chats are open as well if you'd like to donate and just give what the channel is worth. 50 people watching the show live, Roy. That is absolutely amazing. And just smash the like button as well. That will be absolutely awesome. Thanks very much indeed. Let's go on to Foxy. Must-win game for Ecuador on Sunday. I haven't gotten out to the group, but I'm biased, having spent so much time here. Plus, Manny won't be 100% fit for Senegal. I thought Manny was out to top competition, Roy.
No, he got picked. So I think the doctor said he needs a couple of weeks. So the first game is about a week from now. So might be fit. If he misses the first game, which is against Holland, there was no guarantees to win that game anyway. He'll be fit for the next one. So then he's got Qatar and Ecuador, which are both winnable games for them. I've got Holland and Senegal to go through the group, though. So sorry, Ryan, and the Qatari fans.
Fair enough. Cool. So let's go on to the forwards, and let's going to start with. Oh, guess who's coming here? It's Tony.
There you go.
Hi, John.
I was
Get
to start from the back. How you doing, Tony, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just had some bloody problems. I've had to reboot, and then what it's been actually is it hasn't been my broadband tonight, but it's took a bit of work. It's my Google Chrome was playing up, so I've had to go to Microsoft Edge instead, and it's working fine now. So. But I've had to reboot my router as well.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. You've been patient, Tony. Waited for you, mate. So, and you know what? Thank God you're here. You know what means? Me co-host, so everyone doesn't know. And I'm getting a lot of sticker kill about it yet again when the comments said goodbye as a poor player. And he got done for pace by Miggy as well. So, there you go. Before we get on to your ratings after, we're going to catch up on Tony's as well. Must-win game for Ecuador Sunday. I haven't gotten out of the group. We've read that. John, are you getting ex-Newcastle players on your show? Do you know what it is, Alan? It's going to happen very, very soon. Please trust us on that. I'm working on it, mate. And the dynamic trio that is Foxy as well. That should be a show called Dynamic Trio. That'll be amazing. And, just keep it quiet because Paul might listen to it, by the way. You might be listening, by the way. DQ says he loves to knock us out, sort of thing, but he's very trying. He won't get us. But Tony, you've got to catch up with you, man. Go through a few players, right? Give Roy a break. We're going to go through it. Half-term player reports here. Half-term ratings we're going to go through. And I'll give you Nick Pope first. How many marks out of 10 would you give him? Half-term.
Nick Pope. He's done really well. And there's times where he hasn't had a lot to do, if I'm honest. Some games he's barely had to touch the ball, has he? I think against Villa, he basically could have sat in a hammock on the goal and sat with a pina colada and wouldn't have had to do anything because their shots were not even on target. They weren't even off target, so I don't know where the hell their shots went. But yeah, I'll give him a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 for Nick Pope. Okay, let's go on to the back four. We start with Trippier.
Trippier has been fantastic. He's continued his form from last season. So for me, he gets a 10 because of his leadership qualities as well.
10 out of 10 for Trippier. On the same side, we can't really rate Emil Kraft because he hardly played, but Manquillo.
Well, when he has played, he hasn't really been setting the world alight, has he? So he hasn't really played a lot, John. So I'll just give him a standard 5.
Okay, standard 5. That's all gone for as well. Let's go on to the other side. Joanne Lewis, we can't rate him. We just go straight on to Matt Target.
Well, his season's been stopped, hasn't it, at the moment, because obviously he can't get back in the team after his illness, and Dan Burns took his place now. So, well, don't know what to give him. I'll give him a 7, I think.
Okay, 7 out of 10. I'm going to say stick to let Dan Burn.
Dan Burns been all right this season. He's been solid. He's held that left back berth his own. That's why I said the other day, John, when you're a player, if you come on the pitch and you know, you've got that shirt on your back, you want to keep that shirt on your back. So you're going to make sure the people that are sitting on the bench aren't going to get off that bench anytime soon. And Dan Burns played so well to keep hold of that shirt at left back. So for me, Burn gets a 9.
9 for Dan Burn. Let's go on to centre backs. Jamal Lascelles.
Lascelles, he hasn't done too bad when he's came on, has he? And you know, he's played a couple of games and he was all right against Liverpool and scored against Tranmere, didn't he? I think, yeah. Lascelles, I'll give him an 8.
Okay.
Because he hasn't really let us down when he's come on. He's actually been okay. So, you know, I mean, I know he hasn't played a lot of minutes, but he did play all right against Tranmere, and he did. I mean, I know that's a League Two, so it's totally different. But he did have a good game against Liverpool that night as well. So, you know, can't be too harsh on him, can we? And he gets that extra point for taking one for the team the other night when he's stopped Cucurella taking that quick throw and got the yellow card. So that's why he gets the 8.
That's the highlight of the season for him.
It is, yeah, exactly.
Wow, fair enough. Let's go on to the centre backs. We've got centre backs anyway. I'm going to go with Aaron Shear.
Yeah, he's been terrific, hasn't he? I mean, you know, you just look back and you think, what on earth was Cabbage Head doing leaving him out the side? But there again, Fabian Schär probably couldn't play with dinosaur tactics from that manager. So, but under Eddie Howe, he's been a rejuvenated player. We've always seen the class there. It's always been there. It was there when he was under Rafa, you know. And I think Schär's been absolutely fantastic this season. You know, he scored a great goal against Forest in the first game. I mean, you know, that sort of woke us up a bit when we got that goal. And so, yeah, for me, he gets a 10 in my eyes.
Fair enough. Fabian Schär, 10 out of 10. Let's go on to your man in a minute, Mr. Sven Botman. What can I say about this guy?
Yeah, guys, absolutely oozes with class. I mean, you can see it in him. We haven't lost under Sven Botman playing, which is a remarkable achievement, by the way. And yes, okay, he didn't have the greatest game against Southampton, but if you want to be a great player, then when you've had that one bad game, you then got to come back in your next game and prove that you're not a flash in the pan and that you can get back to your best in the next game. And Sven Botman certainly did that against Chelsea. He came back against Chelsea and was solid as a rock against them. He went in for everything. Unfortunately, went off injured. Hopefully, his ankle injury isn't too bad. But the guy has been an absolute revelation. £35 million. It's a bargain in my eyes. I mean, if Liverpool were paying 75 million for Virgil van Dijk, then obviously, you know, you look at Botman and you think for over half the price, and he's probably going to be better than Van Dijk, if I'm honest. And the guy hasn't reached his peak yet, so I'm going to say a 10 for Botman.
No surprises there. 10 out of 10% Botman. Let's go into the midfield. Let's go on to Joe Willock.
Yeah, again, I mean, he started off okay, didn't he? Well, he's had a quiet start, but he's getting into the games now a lot more. And I thought Willock's been absolutely terrific the last few games. Well, he's been terrific for quite a while now. And I did say when he got his goal against Southampton, he'll now go on a scoring spree. Unfortunately, the World Cup's come to stop that now. But he did score the winner against Chelsea, and it wasn't a fluke either. And it wasn't the laces through either. That was carefully placed as well past Mendy. So great goal there. And then the toe poke against Southampton, which was like a Romario style goal. Everybody from that era would know, if anybody's from that era would know about Romario, how good he was, for Brazil. So, yeah, I mean, he's done really well, Willock, and he gets a 9.
9 for Willock. Sean Longstaff.
Yeah, he started off a bit slow this season, but then he's finally finding his feet now, and he's finally putting the effort in that we've seen, and he's starting to show he's the player that he was under Rafa Benitez. Well, he's getting back to that player anyway. I mean, under Rafa, he was absolutely immense under Rafa, but obviously when Rafa went, he lost 2 years of his footballing career. Again, thanks to Mr. Cabbage. So Sean Longstaff, he's improved, but I can only give him an 8, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Should I have 3 more for midfield? First, I'm going to go with is Joe Linton.
Well, this guy who couldn't hit a barn door from being a striker, Eddie's pulled him into midfield, and what a master stroke that is in midfield. The guy's absolutely immense. He's playing really well. He's got to be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and I say Joe Linton gets a 9 from me.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. How would you give him, Roy?
Yeah, I'll give him a 9. Yeah, I'll give him a 9 as well. He came to the club as a centre forward, and Cabbage Head just sort of ruined him. When I saw the lineup against Chelsea, I actually thought he might go up front, but then him and Willock were on the left, switching positions.
Take care, Jules.
I think he should have been on the Brazil squad as well, at least instead of Fred. At least, okay, don't start him, but have him on the bench. But I mean, Fred's useless. No idea, and it's not our business what Brazil does. But he's better than Fred. He should have been on that team. One of the spines of the team now at the moment. End product sometimes is not there, but we'll give him a 9, definitely.
Fair enough. Cool. We'll go on to Tony Bruno.
Bruno, well, the guy's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? I mean, once he got in the team after sitting on the bench for a few games, and the guy's been absolutely immense. I mean, the season, his goals, his assists, for the Almiron goal, which got goal of the month, the one against Fulham. His 2 goals against Brentford as well. I mean, great goals, the header, that took a lot of skill to put that from that Trippier cross, from the Almiron short corner to Trippier, then that Trippier cross, which was inch perfect, by the way. And then for him to actually, but then not only is he doing the hard work with his head, but he's then got to find the back of the net as well. So it's a skill. It's not easy. So to get that sort of power in it off the post, and then it's just brilliant goal. And his second one, well, he took the ball off them just near the halfway line and ran in and about 30 yards out, just hit it and straight in the back of the net. So yeah, the guy's been immense. He's been absolutely brilliant, and can't give him less than a 10. I know he's had a couple of quiet games, and I know like on Saturday his rate of passing wasn't quite there on Saturday. But do you know what? I'm not going to even pull him up over that. I'm just going to say a 10. Yeah,
fair enough. 10 out of 10 for Bruno, and Elliot Anderson to complete midfield.
Yeah, it's been a bit mixed bag for Elliot Anderson. I mean, he's come on as a sub, and he seems to have a bit of flashes, and you see him and you think, oh yeah, he looks the part, but he doesn't get a start. But he got a start against Palace and in the cup, and apparently got you know, obviously it wasn't televised, so nobody could see it. But from what I heard from people who've gone to the game, the tackle weren't great, and he didn't have his best night apparently. But because he hasn't really played a lot and he's only come on as a sub in that, I've got to go with a standard 6 for Anderson, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That completes the midfield. We do for the strikers to do the comments as well. John, will Roy be opponent crest on you sure with Tony on 1 and 2 on a Monday night? If Roy wants to turn it off on a Monday night, you want to?
If I'm free, I'll pop up live. Yeah.
Go for it.
The only thing that gets in the way is the paddle and tournaments, but yeah, when I'm free, I'll pop, definitely.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you for that, Roy. You're in on a Monday night. Jason, first name on the team sheets. And 9 agreed, Aston Doodle. 10 from Joe. Congratulations to Newcastle, 3rd place in Premier League. Williams, a Chelsea fan. And big up to Mansell's and 9. And the betting odds, we'll leave that there for now. And we're going to start with you, Mr. Cavani. Next one forwards, Jacob Murphy, please.
I'll give him an 8 because last season, absolutely useless. Even the season before, and we thought, okay, let's get rid of him in the summer. And we had no offers. But if you ask me, before the Chelsea game, before the lineup, I was thinking him or Maximan, and I'd rather have him now to start the game instead of Maxi. That's how good he was. So yeah, I'll give him an 8. We all know what his abilities are, and we're not going to ask for more. But he's given 100%. And what game was it when he hit the post and then he crossed the ball to Wilson and Wilson hit the bar as well? Great. So, yeah, I'll give him an 8.
And Tony, I know you're not a bit sceptical of Jacob Murphy as well at times, but has he improved?
Well, he's as improved as he can possibly be. I mean, he's at his peak now anyway. So, I mean, he's not going to, go any further, I don't think. He's not the player if you want to go to the next level, that's for sure. But for the moment, when we've had the injuries, he's came in and done the job. So I would say, I know he got his goal against Brentford and really couldn't miss against them, could he? Well, he shouldn't miss against them. And against Villa, obviously, he hit the post and then Wilson hit the crossbar from his header. I think that's what Roy was referring to. Yeah. I'm on the same page as Roy. You got to go with an 8 for Murphy.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for Jacob Murphy there. For me, I'm going to give him a 7, but he has improved. I'll give him that. So 7 for me. Better also the bookies. No, he's improving. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm harsh, but I'll give him 7, but he will improve. So latest bookings next signs Newcastle, Manson's 9-1, DCL 5-6, Tammy Abraham 3-1, Yuri Tillemans as well, 3-2 for Yuri, and Neymar 14. I wouldn't have Neymar, no thank you. Jamie Vardy 14-1. I don't think you leave Leicester. Manson, Tammy, yes, obviously no. 10 for Bruno. Bruno Gamache saying plays too much. Excuse my ignorance. Who are the guests? Roy and Tony. And 8 for Murphy and 8 from Alan. Let's go on to ASM. I'm not saying to give him Roy.
This is the one that hurts the most because he is my favourite player in the last 3 years. He's our number 10. He's supposed to be our Messi. 6, because he's been back for about a month now. He can't get back in the team. I don't know what. Every time he gets injured, he's back in France. Why don't you stay and stay here? Like, it's not like he's gonna go through an ACL surgery or something. It's just a hamstring injury or something. Every time he's injured, he's in France. He's gone. Stay with the team. He's not back in the team now. And the fact is, before every lineup, I'm hoping it's Murphy on the left or Willock now, not him. Just tells you what they got. And then the last 15, 20 minutes against Chelsea, I thought, he's going to bring him on now. He didn't even come on. So he's going down the packing order. You got your best natural player you've got in the team and he can't get a game now. So he needs to look at himself now and think, I need to fight for my spot again. And otherwise he's going to be gone. And we've got loads of fans now telling me, if he's not in Newcastle next season, we're not bothered because the team's a unit now and he's not a unit. He needs to think about the name in the front, not the name at the back. So I hope I'm not harsh, but yeah, I'll give him a 6. Even though he was brilliant in the first 3 games, up until the Wolves game. Got injured and he's history now. We haven't all the wins we've had, he's contributed nothing to. So yeah, 6 for Maxi.
Fair enough. So how it is, Roy, just how it is, how you feel, Tony ASM, is Roy right?
He is right because he hasn't really played a lot and he can't get back in the team. And when he's come on, he hasn't really looked massively great. Although he did assist Bruno for the 4th goal against Southampton, though. And he did score that great volley against Wolves to equalise for us. I mean, that was a great volley. So for me, I'm because of his assist and that goal, but he hasn't really contributed a lot to the team, which is correct as well. But I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, cool. Let's go on to Chris Wood. Roy.
7. He's missed loads of chances. He's not the future. I know we bought him when we needed to stay up last season. Wilson was injured. He was okay against Chelsea. His stats were good. He had the most pressing points or pressing percentages or second, 22 press attempts or something. He's not great. He's part of the team. I'll give him a 7. Yeah, has he scored? He scored 1, hasn't he? Yeah, he scored 1.
Yeah, he scored last week against Southampton. Turning shot.
And he took a good penalty. So yeah, 7.
7?
Generous.
Cool. Generous 7. Do you agree with that? 7 out of 10. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, he hasn't really been massively great, has he? But yes, he has missed a few chances, and the goal he got against Southampton, I mean, that was a good goal. I mean, and considering somebody who hasn't really been playing and been in the team, to take that goal the way he did, I mean, was brilliant as well. He could have had a goal on Saturday, couldn't he? But he sort of fluffed it, didn't he? So, Wood, I'll give him a 6.
Cool. I'm going to give him a 6 as well. But yes, he scored against Southampton. But other than that, it's just a lot of running our boots without impacting the team. I'll give him a 6. So, and we got Callum Wilson. Right. I mean, he's been outstanding this season. Let's be real.
9.
But,
9 from me. He's back in the England squad. He's second best striker after Harry Kane. Definite. We would have beaten Chelsea easily if he was on instead of Wood. Completely different. Tracks back. It's perfect. It's a perfect striker. Definitely 9. 9 for Wilson.
9 out of 10 for Callum. Tony.
Yeah, I mean, he missed 4 weeks with an injury, but he's came back, and he was probably cheated out of a goal against Brighton. Had the referee not blew his whistle so quick and just waited, then he would have realised he hadn't fouled Dunk, because VAR would have checked it and said no, that was no foul and goals given. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's done well, Callum, and he gets a 9 from me as well. And great to see him back in the England squad after an absence of 3 years.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's have a look at 9s in there. 9s for no Wilson's a 10. He's jealous, isn't he? Clear 9. John Joffrey a 6. John, please hit the subscribe button. I believe it's your first time, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Billy's in who's
Hey,
our agent, by the way. Max is doing Miggy levels. before Miggy tore the best side and couldn't be a part 2. Definitely it. Not his fault. He's injured and the team performed in his absence. Talking off the man in a minute, Roy, give us a rating of me because I think that guy this season has been an absolute revelation.
He's my fourth 10. 3 months ago, was screaming about buying a right winger. Diaby, and all these guys and all these names, and Miggy's useless and he hasn't got a right foot and he can't cross. And this kept going until after the Palace game and Palace and Bournemouth. He can't cross the ball. No idea what happened. And thank you, Grealish. Just thank you, Grealish. The guy's transformed. It's like he's got a magic touch in the box now. All these balls, he's got 3-4 wonder goals already. Goal of the month. And best player of the month as well in the league. 10. You can't change your career in 5 or 6 weeks like this. Still smiling. And I mean, now you tell me him or Maxi. Him. And that tells you. Remember when Maxi used to play and there'll be 2 or 3 players on Maxi and they leave Miggy with space because they think he's useless. Now it's the other way around. You got players on Miggy, and they can't stop him. And what he did to Diaby, Koulibaly as well. That's class. Work rate as well. Forget the goals. He's back defending. What an engine on him. You look at him and you think, what a small guy. I should knock him out with those shoulder, but what a machine. 10 out of 10. Thanks to Eddie Howe. Wow. We don't need the right winger now. And I don't care he can't use his right foot. Mm-hmm. He can use his left foot. So, yeah, Miggy's my fourth 10.
Yeah. And go for the points we get Tony's 9 from Wilson, a 10 from Wilson, Wilson a 9, Miggy a 10 plus, 10 from Alan, Miggy my player of the season so far, that's from Alright Coffee, Dindler says a 10, Alma is absolutely sensation, Miggy is a machine, Eddie has the maddest touch, no doubt about that, lads, totally agree. I wanted Miggy out, but he has made me eat humble pie. Miggy gets a 10, he has been outstanding. My apologies for that. Almiron, Tony.
Almiron, oh, well.
Jack, who's done the talking for him, by the way.
I mean, do you know what? I know we keep saying Jack Grealish has said this and, about Almiron and things like that. But I actually don't think it's been down to that. I think it's that coaching of Eddie Howe again. And Eddie's seen something in him. And Eddie Howe's probably actually, because Eddie Howe's so good when he does his stats and everything. And I have the feeling Eddie Howe's looked at a lot of videos of Almiron, not when he's played for us, maybe, when he's played in the MLS for Atlanta United. And he's probably looked at them and thought, do you know what? I need to get him back to that stage where he was banging goals in for fun and assisting for fun. So he's got him back in, and he's probably just worked and worked and worked with him until he's got him where he wants him. And yes, he started off slow with this inverted winger, because I always screamed, John, that he should be playing on the left, Almiron, because that is his best position on the left. That's why he played for Atlanta United. And his first half season when he came to us under Benitez, he played on the left. But then obviously Benitez went, Cabbage Head coming in, he was playing everywhere on the pitch, and he was running around like a headless chicken because, he couldn't do nothing because of Steve Bruce, the dinosaur. So I mean, but this season he's been outstanding. I mean, he scored 6 in pre-season, and he's just hit heavy heights this season. We're just seeing the player that we actually did buy for £21 million and keeps up this for the season. If he gets, say, 15 goals this season, £21 million really looks a bargain. And it's like having a new signing as well, And even if we did get, say, Moussa Diaby in the January window, you won't automatically walk into the team because he'll have to get past Almiron until Almiron either gets an injury or a suspension. So anyway, he would get in the team. But and that guy's not going to the World Cup as well, John Diaby. So yeah, for me, Mickey gets a 10 all day.
100%, 100%. I mean, that's why you call him Miggy Stardust, by the way. Amazing. What an amazing season he's having. I'll give him a 10 as well. ASM, I'd give him a 7. And Chris Wood, I'd give him a... If I score that goal, I'd probably give him a 6. 5 or 6 for me. Do we need Derby? Now we have Miggy flying. Big up for Paul. Hope you're okay, mate. We could save Eddie 50 million quid sort of thing, but we do need competition on the right hand side. We really do. Let's go on to I always speak of Miggy. Do you think Bruce didn't bother at all about player development? What a mug! He is a mug. It has FA to do with that. PICK is all down to hard work and listen to Eddie and the staff. Exactly. He's our star man, Miggy Stardust. Yep. Big up to David as well. I think he's played Cam at Atlanta behind Martinez as Atalanta, not Atalanta. That's an Italian weird, but I know what you mean, David. Sefton, brilliant. I like Yemi Pina for filling Pino Vivian. Great talent and now and for the future. He looks an excellent player, by the way. Please hit the subscribe button, mate. If you can hit the subscribe button, it's your first time. Thank you very much indeed. I've got Charlie Beat as well. Instant 10 from Kieran Trippier as well. I think that's it, guys. I think we've gone through the players. We've gone for all of them. And we've got to go through Eddie as well, by the way, guys. I mean, I know we're going to give
I think there's one more.
Who's
That's
that?
Isak.
Yes.
Yeah.
He played 3 games.
Yeah.
Go on, then.
Was it 2 or 3? He played Liverpool and then
Liverpool, Bournemouth,
Brighton.
and Palace.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Yeah, he scored 2, 1 from a penalty, 1 against Liverpool. When he was on, especially the Liverpool game, amazing. And I thought, wow. Well, I can't wait till he comes back. So I don't want to blame him. It's not his fault he got injured. So I'm going to rate this the 3 games he was on. He wasn't great against Palace. So yeah, I'll give him an 8, even with the 2 goals he scored in 3 games. But his performance against Liverpool, and he scored, and there was that disallowed goal for offside. I wasn't sure was it in and out. But yep, 8 from me.
And Tony?
Yeah, I mean, he came into the club and had to wait a while to get his debut because of work permit issues, which to me was I was a bit skeptical of, because it was weird how other clubs signed players and their work permits were through. Like Coutinho got his through straight away. So I was a bit like, yeah, something's not right, yeah. But when he did make his debut, he got off with a bang against Liverpool and should have had 2 goals that night, to be fair. I mean, VAR choked that off. Their excuse was, we can't tell who shadows who, if it was Gomez or Isak. Well, I'm sorry. Why are you going off shadows? Look at the players, draw your lines. If you'd put your lines in, you'd see he's clearly onside. So he was unlucky there to only get 1 goal and end up on the losing side that night as well. Against Palace, I was at that game. He fluffed that chance in the first half. He should have scored. He should have buried it. But then he got that penalty against Bournemouth, which he took very well. So Callum's got plenty of competition there for people taking penalties. But I thought he's done all right, the games he's played, and I think he'll come back firing and he'll hit double figures this season. That's without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm going to give Isak an 8.
8 out of 10 for Isak. Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. And he's been very impressive. Apart from that miss, I could have easily marked him down to 7, but he's been really good for that miss against Palace. Trying to do a messy chip. Don't do it if you can't do it. So we got Isak 7, 9 for Isak, 9 Vesterkorm here. More to come from Isak, 8 from Mansell, 5 from high 5s from Isak, 2 goals and 3. Great return, 9 for me. That's in Toon. So let's go on to the last one. Eddie Howe. Eddie. Lloyd.
Can't give him any less than 10. We're 3rd. Every single one of us would have been happy to be 7th or 8th or 6th beginning of the season. We're 3rd. I still can't believe it. I wake up in the morning and I put the thing on and, we're 3rd. I still can't believe it. Amazing. Forget the play, because you see the media and they're talking about the money and all this stuff, but Forget the players we bought. Look at the players he's improved. Fabian Schär can't even get a game at the Cabbage Heat. Longstaff, Wilson, Miggy. Every single one of those players looks 100 times better, fitter, faster. That's down to one man, Eddie Howe. Nothing to do with the money or Saudi or anyone. Eddie Howe's done this. He bought the right players at the right time at the right price, and he combined the players he bought to the ones he had and made every single one of them look better. And have you seen the Ronaldo interview? And he said after one of the games, the game against us, when he got subbed after 70 minutes, he spoke to Alex Ferguson, and Alex Ferguson said he just played against the best defense in the league. Coming from Fergie, I can't stand Fergie, but when Fergie says that's the best defense in the league, that's the best defense in the league. So sorry, Pep and Arsenal guys and whatever. We've got the best defense in the league due to one man, Eddie Howe. 10.
Unbelievable. Big up to Alex Ferguson, by the way, to come up and see that. Toro Ronaldo, that guy is an absolute mutt. He really is. He's like a petulant child, him. But less said about him, the better. I'm sure you're going to speak to Maisie about that at some stage. Let's go on to Tony. Eddie Howe, your guy. My man.
Yeah. 10, John. So I've got to give him a 10. I mean, you know, he's been absolutely fantastic. He weren't the choice of Amanda and Jamie Rubin. He was the choice of PIF because Amanda and Jamie wanted Emery. But because Dick Emery turned us down and stayed at Villarreal, we went for Eddie Howe. And PIF being the majority shareholder of the club and having an endless pot of money that they've got, saw something in Eddie Howe. So for people saying, like Sir Simon Jordan saying that our owners didn't have a clue what they were doing when they first came to the club, well, that guy's a muppet, because if PIF didn't have a clue, then how comes Yasser Al-Rumayyan had earmarked Eddie Howe as his number one target? And the only reason they went for Emery first was because he says, if it was a voting system, he says, I've been outvoted 2-1. So he says, let's go with him first then. But, you know, but he's came into the club and he's been absolutely brilliant. The players were 60% fit when he took over. So he had to get them fit up to where they should be at that stage of the season. And we went on that amazing run in January. If somebody had said to me last season, you'll get out with the bottom three, and you'll finish 11th place, well, and you'll stay up with like a month to go, I would have turned around and said, don't be silly. I would have been happy last season if we'd finished 17th place, because as long as we'd stayed in the Premier League, that was the main thing. And that was my thinking from the minute Eddie Howe came in. I thought, just get us to 17th place, please, and I'll be happy with that. That's progress, because that keeps us in the Premier League. But we didn't know we were only going to be about 7 or 8 points away from European place last season. And then look to this season, look how well we've played. Then you get Guardiola coming out and saying, last season we came here and won 4-0. He says, this time round, he says, it was much tougher. He says, they're a totally different side. So he knew in himself, you know, Pep Guardiola knew that the task and the job that Eddie Howe has done at this club, and he's been absolutely fantastic. You know, look what he's done with the players, Almiron, Longstaff, Joe Linton, or G7 as we call him. You know, he's just been absolutely brilliant, and he deserves all the credit he gets, and he's also, I think, one of the first. I don't think he's might be the first manager. I'm not sure, but I can't really remember because we didn't really get many manager of the months. But the curse of manager of the month didn't strike on Saturday because we went out there and won. Normally, when you get manager of the month, you lose that game the next game. So we didn't, and that just shows you how good a character Eddie Howe is. And what I do like about him now, he's starting to get this. He's got this little bit of a swagger, like a Jose Mourinho style swagger now, and it's just starting to show now. And and long may that continue, because absolutely brilliant. And I mean, I thought it was great on Saturday when he came on the pitch and he kept getting told off the fourth official, come on, off the pitch, you shouldn't be on there. That's how involved he is in the game. I think he'd go on there and kick the ball if he could, Eddie Howe. But absolutely fantastic, John. And if England don't get very, very far and Southgate's out the World Cup, then the FA needn't bother knocking on Eddie's door, because I don't think he'll answer his ring doorbell.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Just say he's on holiday or something like that sort of thing, not to be seen again. So hey ho. Let's go through his comments and that. Do play Arsenal home? We play away first, Alan. We play Arsenal away. January the 3rd, that game. I want Emery to fail at Villa. That's an Ashton or to you. Eddie Howe mentality monster. Bold Geordie, bit of too bold Geordie there. Even lads, I've always liked the pre-airs, the Toon fans, 10 out of 10, which is going to call them 10 out of 10. But I just don't want our supporters to not get involved with away fans after. It's not worth the bad press. But we have the best fans. You're absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right.
I mean, John, sorry, John, but did you see, I don't know if you saw it, I saw Eddie's video, Tyneside Life, Eddie.
Yeah.
And he was told by some Chelsea fans not to film them. They didn't want it. They weren't happy with him filming.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he said a few fans were all right with him, but he said somebody didn't want him filming. I thought, well, what a bunch of knackers they are, aren't they, John? I mean, no need for it, is there? I mean, every away fan normally speaks to him, but yeah, I just thought, are they, is there something about them that they don't like to be filmed for or what? But it was just bizarre, and I just, I thought, okay, strange.
Strange. Very, very strange. If that's after the 1-0 defeat, then they just kind of take it all in the fact they don't want it to be in the Big Six as well. But hey ho, sorry. But if they filmed us, we would not have minded at all. But look, at the end of the day, right, it could be petty. I mean, Eddie's just doing the job, for goodness sake. Do you know what I mean? But it's all this, or maybe they don't want to be seen because of the jobs and that sort of, and they could be working for the NHS, they could be working for a high-profile job. They get seen, they could lose their job, sort of thing. It could be that, Tony, and could be, but they don't know why. But I think you're right, sort of thing. We get filmed as well. Simon from TalkSport has backtracked on what he said. Tony, mates, that's from Simon Jordan, I presume.
He has, yeah.
Yes, I'm not bothered if I'm being a dreamer. I'm going to be positive about Toon. It has been a long time, so even if he fail, don't mind. Might as well enjoy what he finished high. That's an Ashton. Big up to you, mate. Big up. Renewal of my passport as priority. Yeah, I've got mine. Doesn't expire until 2027, by the way. 10 out of 10 for the fans. It's a rebuild, Tony. All getting rebuild. Proper tunes. All the issues should be different right now. Referees, we're not doing referees, Stanley, mate. Eddie Howe's hopefully man of the year. That's a really, really possibility. Refs get sacked. Why did Chelsea fans don't want to get stuff filmed? I really don't know the fact why. Maybe it's just been a bit petty, or people just don't want to see their face on there. So high-profile jobs. Hey, let's go. Typical Chelsea fans, always violent. They're racist to rival fans too, especially Son.
Apparently they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, John,
shocking.
we play, when we play Arsenal at the Emirates, right?
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't it be funny to go down there and get a shithousery win, right? A 1-0 shithousery win. And it just happens to be Joe Willock that gets the winner as well.
Yeah.
How good would that be?
Amazing.
I wonder if you'd celebrate Joe Willock. I don't know if he would or not, but I wonder if he would.
I don't think he would, because he's a gooner. I think he's an Arsenal fan, so I don't think he'll celebrate at all whatsoever, sort of thing. So I can't see it. But if he did celebrate, big up to Joe Willock, because it'd be absolutely shittery. Because we can go to Arsenal and we could get a result there, because our defence are so good, right? Arsenal's going to get frustrated along the way, and we just catch up on a bad day. If you do that, then we could win at the Emirates. We've done it before, but they have not come up with a strong back four we have. Simple as that. It's not going to make it easier for them. Who cares? Typical Chelsea fans, always violent and racist. Yeah, I read that. And IKS, can you hit the subscribe button, please, mate? If you can, that'd be brilliant. Thank you, man. I like coffee. I guess a 10 out of 10. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Can't see that with Chelsea fans that don't want film because they know they'll behave badly. That could be. The Chelsea fans did not know what Eddie was or does until Toon spoke with him. According to Toon's Very interesting. Very interesting. So that's it, guys. We're going to wrap up the show. And for the player ratings, thank you so much indeed, as well as usual. And if you agree with our ratings, if you've got your own ratings, leave in the comment section down below, guys. And Roy, where can you find you on your socials, mate?
My what? You mean? Oh wait.
Yeah, where can you find you? Like on your socials, Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on.
Facebook?
I'm Twitter. That's my Twitter account details. I'm on Instagram as well. You just have to search for my name. I'm not really active on everything. Well, the only one I'm active on is Twitter. A lot.
Cool. Fair enough. And
you'll find us there. And I'm not a Macam because I've been accused yesterday of being a Macam because Chesley Street. So well, someone came up and said, if you're from Durham or you're from Chesley Street, you're a Macam. Well, what if I'm from London and I decided to support Newcastle? Can I not?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Well, Chesley Street is 50-50. So,
yeah.
To avoid that, I used to go to Lowfell. Yeah, to avoid that, I used to go to Lowfell and watch the games and get to Dons. So that was that's what I used to go and watch the away games. So whatever is on the dodgy TV and stuff. So did you actually go, John? Gates of Doms. It's the first pub on the right when you're going uphill.
Past it, I've not been in it. Not been there. Been to the Vic. The Vic is lovely. And me last nosy, by the way.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm famous then. There you go.
Yeah, so
I used to be the only one who used to swear a lot in the pub. And when we beat Sunderland 5-1, I was actually in the pub. I wasn't in St. James's. And I remember there was a lad and his dad and his grandfather in front of me. So you had 3 generations of fans in front of me. And I think I scored the second. I think Nolan scored the second or something. So I just grabbed his hair and the younger one. And I almost got kicked out of the pub. But it was crazy days there in the pub. And we used to get the dodgy TVs. Remember when the 3 p.m. kickoff matches?
Yeah.
So you couldn't get them on Sky. So they used to have like a channel from Greece or somewhere, and then you have the commentator speaking. Sometimes we have the Arabic one. So I'll be sitting there. I'm the only one in the pub who understands what the guy's talking about. So it was good days there, like, and especially away games when you couldn't go, the pub will be absolutely full. So yeah, I still love it. Never got to Chesley Street and watch the game there.
No chance. Oh
yeah,
get in there as well. Go for the contribution. Get to Tony. Great banter, lads. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Chris. Watch every match Chelsea lose. Their players always start fights at the end of the match. That doesn't surprise us, by the way. He mentioned some videos saying someone spoke up for him. Watch it. After watch that, mate. Look at that, mate. Great streams, lads. Do you serve? And you, Bold Geordie. The guy saying Raw as a Sunderland fan probably thinks Santa is a Macam too. That sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a black and white beard, man.
Oh,
Santa's a Geordie.
Because he has a red and white suit on
as well. Oh, yeah.
Love it. Tony, where can we find you, man? Good for you guys.
Yeah. So you can find me down there on Twitter at TonyTooney31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. And also you can find me on my channel, which has been going just over 3 weeks now, and it's behind me. So yes, so you can find me on that. It's all black and white TV. And I've actually got a show coming up at 8:30 tonight as well. Half-term report as well. So yeah, if you're not busy, come and catch me on there, and we'll have a chat about what's been going on this season so far. So yeah, all going well. And if you haven't yet, then please come over and hit that subscribe button and help grow the channel. Thank you very much, John.
You're welcome, Tony. Please hit the channel. It's all Black and White TV. Just hit that subscribe button and help Tony get 1,000 subscribers. If he does that, that'd be amazing. Do it for Christmas. That'd be a perfect Christmas present, by the way. So you can start being a member, start do super chats as well. And if you can't see us later, we'll see you on your show later. Tony, that's in Ashton. And great show or good chat. Do no thank you, man. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, subscribe. Also, super chat as well. If you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. Click on the join button as well. And thanks so much, guys. I'd already be backstage for a couple minutes then. I'll be back tomorrow. Could be the transfer show, or if I get Macy on tomorrow, then it could be a Premier League roundup as well for so far. And thank you so much for joining, guys. Until then, it's a goodbye and take care.